We are Stefan and Monique, and this is our van Mitsumatsu. Together we're trying to get to Mongolia, but because of things happening in the world right now, some borders are really hard to get through. So watch us struggle to get to Mongolia and see with us whatever we'll find on the way. So today we drove to the island of Krk. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but this is also the old town of Krk at the water. And there's a bat flying around. Just saw the sundown, which was very pretty. And now we're just strolling a little bit around the water side. And I think we're gonna walk into Krk in a bit. This is the Church of St. Lucy, and next to it there's an old monastery, but it's only ruins because it wasn't in use for very long. But they're still using this church for every year for the day of St. Lucy, and that's why it's preserved so well. It is from the 11th century, so it's quite old, and it's an old stone church. But the coolest thing is inside, because there they have this stone with the old Glagolitic language engraved on it, and it's the language where the Cyrillic alphabet is actually based on. I will tell a little bit about that later. And this is the really old version of writing. After that they developed it into a more printable script. But in this script you can actually see circles and crosses. Like here there's a cross, and here you see circles, which are symbolic of perfection. And there's also triangles. I'm trying to look for some, like here, of the Holy Triangle. And yeah, I'll tell about that a little bit later. But they found it only in the 19th century because this part of the church was the septum, which divided the church in like the holy part where only the bishops and stuff could enter, and the part for the normal people. But they actually demolished it around the 1800s, and then they put it into the church as a gravestone, which was lying down here, and there was no septum at all anymore. And then a scientist came and he actually found this, that it was really cool because it had that old Glagolitic language engraved on it. And yeah, so they made it again like this. And there was also another stone, but it was completely demolished, so they couldn't find it anymore. So they just have an empty stone. And it's very rare that these stones are encrypted with so many words. Normally there are like 4 or 5 words on it from who built the church. But here it has a whole story about the kings who gave a piece of land to the people to build this church, to Benedictus, and that he was very grateful for this, and a lot of text. So that's very special. It's actually one of the only examples of this in the whole world. So it's really cool. So here around Boschka, they have all these letters from the Glagolitic alphabet on stones engraved, or very big sculptures made of it. And you can actually walk a trail from all of them. And yeah, it's this is, I think, something like an omega. I can look it up. But as I said, I was going to tell you a little bit more about the Glagolitic language. So it's actually invented by Saint Cyrilius and his brother. And it's invented because there were people from Central Asia coming to the Roman Empire in the 9th century. And they were speaking Slavic languages and had pagan religious beliefs, which wasn't really centralized. And because the monk Cyrilius at that time wanted to spread the Roman Catholic Church, he actually made up a script which symbolized the Slavic letters, and then translated the Bible and all the religious documents to the Slavic language to include them into the Roman Church. And that's how the Glagolitic language came to be. And then in the 11th century, the church divided from the Roman Catholic Church to the Orthodox Church. And then in the Orthodox Church, the language actually differed a little bit. They changed things slightly, and that's how the Cyrillic alphabet came to be. And they actually honored Saint Cyrilius by naming this specific script after him, and that's where the current Cyrillic alphabet is actually based on. You can still see the remnants of the war by the shooting holes in the walls of the buildings. Not everyone, but quite a lot still have these holes into them.
This is the house of Nikola Tesla, where he was born. Very nice.
But it's the actual house, and it has been renovated. But it's built on the main remains of his actual house when he was born in 1850s, I think.
And that's the church of his father.
Yeah.
It's a church. Very nice.
And the stable.
And it's a stable, but that is rebuilt. This is the guy himself. Look, he has a very nice big tiny.
I did an interrail with a friend in Croatia as well. I wanted to go to the Plivic lakes because everybody says it's super pretty, and actually we were going to skip it, but then we had some leftover kunas because we decided to go to Bosnia early. We're going to Bosnia either tonight or tomorrow, and yeah, so we kind of passed it, so we thought, well, let's go. And apparently it's still off season, so the tickets were still cheap, much cheaper than I expected. So now we still have leftover money, so we can get some food. But I'm super excited to see this. And there's boats, and there's a train, and there's not so much walking, and I was afraid I had to walk very far, so now I'm super hyped.
Because we forgot to make an end video, this will be the end video. Yes.
I'm actually editing the video right now.
Very good. You have done such a great job. This is an amazing movie. It only took 3 weeks to make.
Yes, it's a slight problem.
Yeah.
But there will be more movies.
Yep.
Soon.
So,
I
this
hope.
was Croatia.
Was this Croatia?
Yeah.
Croatia. It's quite long ago, actually.
Yep. But the next one will be in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's very important. We'll explain in the next video.
Bye-bye.